Hey everyone, it's Tiffany T here, and this is day 17 of 30 of Wade and T's 30-day vulnerability challenge. And I have to apologize because this is going to be a little bit late, even though I am making it on time. I won't be staying up long enough to be editing it, so it's going to go out tomorrow. But today I'm talking about getting vulnerable by sharing my experience with forgiveness. And first off, I just want to thank you all for tuning in and sticking in with this, with Wade and I. We love you and appreciate all you do, all the love, all the support, all the words of encouragement, just all the love you show. So thank you so much. And this would be a lot more challenging without you. So just know how appreciated you are, okay? Thank you from the bottom of my heart. But I wanted to share a little bit about what I've been through and how I've learned to forgive myself first. Because I really believe that you won't truly able to forgive others until you forgive yourself first. Just like it goes back with the concept of, if you don't love, respect, and honor yourself, then you're not able to truly love, respect, and honor others. So many of you who don't know my story, who are just like new and just now tuning in, I'm gonna just give you like a short version so that you can really have an ability, or be able to understand this whole forgiveness thing according to my perspective. And many would say that after hearing my story, and a lot do, that a lot of unfortunate circumstances have happened in my life, throughout all my life, starting with being molested continuously at the age of 4 by my babysitter, smoking crack with my mom, and getting addicted to hardcore drugs at age 11, which then led to shooting up heroin and cocaine with her at age 13, which then, put me in jail for 9 months as an adolescent. I was 14 years old. And having to serve 9 months as a 14-year-old is quite a huge thing. It was a devastation at that time for me. And I was taken away from my family, from the authorities, or by the authorities. And I was a ward of the court until I was 18. So I was in the system. I was in group homes. And then, it didn't even stop there. It was like, then I battled an alcoholic drinking tendency from the age of 20 to 32. And that's not even like the rough part, okay? Like, that's not, there's also when I lost everything in the world that I truly loved, adored, and respected at the time, between the age of 29 and 30, within like a 9-month period. Okay, so it was crazy. Like all this bad stuff, some would see it as bad, I see it as a blessing. All this fortunate circumstances, happened about a 9-month period. And I'm talking about real heartbreak, losing like real stuff that would cause normal people, to just break. And it started with losing one of my stepdads, who I had known since I was 2, and then the death of my very much planned daughter and very much wanted daughter, Audrey, when she was 8 months old. And then to tip it off, I got divorced after a 12-year marriage, resulting in losing everything. My 20 and a half acres in the mountains, my acre in the city in Montana, my income, my possessions, everything. And all of this literally shattered me. And for a while, I fell into a deep state of depression, which resulted in like an extreme nervous breakdown for about 7 months. And then while being in that nervous breakdown, I happened to accumulate some DUIs that resulted in me facing a year in prison. And luckily, after fighting it for about 9 to 10 months, I was able to have it reduced to only having to serve 120 days. So, which in my opinion is way better than 365. So I was very grateful for that. But I look at all of these things in my life as blessings, and I just want to share with you how I was able to move on and move forward, because I see not only that, but move on and move forward to the place where I am today, um, where I'm living a life that's so fulfilling and full of joy, better than I ever imagined. Like me, of all people. So, why don't we just start by talking about forgiveness in the first place? Because I'm noticing that we all have some sort of forgiveness, whether it's on a huge scale or whether it's on a small scale in our lives. And we need to take place. It needs to take place, in order to become the best versions of ourselves that we can be. Because if we don't forgive, we harbor hatred and resentment and all that stuff. And it literally kills you. It kills you. It ages you. It's just really, really bad. And I just think it's time to forgive. It's time to forgive so we can lighten our souls and enjoy our relationships and really experience the true joy that life's meant to be. Because in my experience, I've found that forgiveness can bring it can bring back innocence and maturity and return life to a state of healthy consciousness, of love, compassion, joy, um, just all the good stuff. And forgiveness lightens everything. It lightens our souls. It lightens the way we interact with people. It lightens our being just in general, and the way we treat each other and the way we treat ourselves. And it's simply just reconnection. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you need to reconnect with people that physically reconnect, um, like with others. If others have done you wrong or have hurt you in the past or whatnot. I'm not saying I go make amends with those people and reconnect with them. If they're a bad influence, don't do that. But or if they're just bad in general to you and to your healthy state of well-being, don't do that. But I'm just saying, have boundaries and discernment for what you need, especially when you're feeling fragile, because it's just as important as forgiveness is having those boundaries to know what's right for you on your path and what's not. And reconnection can mean reconnecting to your highest self so that you're able to have compassion. Have compassion for yourself first and for the mistakes that others make, because we're all human. At the end of the day, we are all human. So we are not perfect. We literally are. There's no such thing. And to understand things in that light and not have that expectation of perfection, which I am completely guilty of. I'm such a perfectionist. Not, in just what I do, my actions, my tasks, and then if I don't do it to how I envision it, I kind of beat myself up, and that's not good. It's not good at all. So, and we need to have compassion for the mistakes, that we have made, that we are going to continue to make, okay? Because mistakes are a part of life. To me, they're learning lessons for soul growth. And I don't call them mistakes per se. I like to look at them as lessons that are necessary, absolutely necessary for soul growth. So, having forgiveness, you can recognize the innocence in everyone, and knowing that the rate of growth happens at different speeds for individuals. And I'm going to repeat that, okay? The rate of growth happens at different speeds for different people. This is really, really important to comprehend, not just understand, but to comprehend, okay? And in forgiveness, we're gentle with our youth. We have compassion for the elderly. We're empathetic to those who struggle, and we're tolerant of people who do us wrong or who are wrongdoers, as you would say. Um, and then sometimes, like these lessons in our lives, like these lessons are made up of all of this. So it's really sometimes challenging for me to say what I'm thinking and regurgitate it in a way to where people will understand. So I hope I'm doing an okay job. But I just always like to look at it as like mercy is a blessing. Others To bless others with compassion and forgiveness is a blessing, and that's mercy. As long as there's no feelings of like superiority or thoughts of superiority, then that's great. And justice is giving them more. So when we have the humility to remember like the countless mercies we've been given and we've received throughout life, then we it's easier to find the ability in our heart to show mercy to others and to show true compassion to others. And I recently just went through a huge experience with this, a huge learning lesson at the end of this last year with a person who really, really challenged me. And I found myself getting to the point where I was like, talking to Brian King, my life coach and teacher, and I'm just like, I cannot have, I'm not allowing myself to have compassion and love for this person. That's how much they're pushing my buttons. That's how much they're pissing me off. And I am not one to say that. I love everyone, no matter who you are. But this person, I was just like, I felt it deep. I felt it really deep. And I was like, what is going on? Oh my gosh. It's been so long since I felt this. And looking back now that it's April, and this happened in December. Um, that was an extremely important lesson for me. And I'm not going to share what the lesson is just because of the privacy of the person and individual. However, it was a blessing in disguise. And I love to see unfortunate situations as blessings. So sometimes we fear forgiveness because we feel like justified, in our own grievances as well to feel that way. And if we forgave and we think sometimes we think if we forgave we may become victims of further wounding, we shut ourselves off or whatever, and we just completely block it out. And the truth is we're never victims of wounding. That's an illusion. We attract those difficult experiences so that we can develop our awareness and a higher state of consciousness. So it's like an understanding for your soul growth, if that makes sense. And I hope I am not confusing anyone, but often our lack for forgiveness is really about what we haven't forgiven ourselves for. Okay, so if we look close enough, and this can happen with anyone. If we look close enough, we will see that we are actually doing or have done the same to others as to ourselves. So that's pretty deep. I know. I know it's deep, but you may say to yourself, "Oh, I never act like that." But have you ever thought that perhaps the extreme act that someone did was to jolt you, like wake you up and awaken you to the same or lesser acts that you have done in the past or are doing right now? Like, really think about that. Like, for example, if it was me asking that question, I'd be like, okay, did that person's action, was that to wake me up, make me aware of something that I'm not seeing, make me aware of something that I've done in the past or that I'm doing right now, even in the far distant past, like past lives that I didn't make amends for? So in asking that question, you can free yourself and free others by making a deep heartfelt apology And if it's to yourself, apologize to yourself and truly apologize to yourself, or apologize to another person for that wrongdoing that may, when you may have inflicted pain or caused any injustification on anyone else. So also, you can see the actions of others as a repressed part of yourself that needs to come into balance. You know how we're like mirrors to others, and we see, like, if I'm projecting, if I see something in somebody that I don't like, I'm seeing a projection of something inside of me that I don't like, but I'm seeing it in that other person because it's a projection. Like, for example, if your partner ignores you or dismisses your ideas, this could be used to your advantage, because it could be telling you, okay, increase your ability to become more assertive. So it's just really, forgiveness is a whole entire process of inner self reflection first. And then once you get through that, you can move forward to the outer, because nothing else, it's just a waste of time if you don't do it yourself first, in my opinion. And true forgiveness is saying, we don't want the past to be any different. It's just forgiving people and thanking them for the experiences and the lessons and the everything that they gave us, and wishing them well will release us all from all that anguish and suffering that we cause and inflict upon ourselves, so we can live a more happy and fulfilling life. And so in understanding the importance of forgiveness, basically without it, you can create a distance of superiority. And what I've come to learn in this lifetime and throughout all my experiences is that nothing ever happens to you. It happens for you, as Tony Robbins would say. And most importantly, I've learned that forgiveness is a choice. At the end of the day, forgiveness is a choice. So we have the power to change our situation. It's in our hands, and it's in our heart. It's in no one else's. And at the end of the day, you can either choose to harbor hatred and exude that hatred outward and have resentment, which, by the way, only hurts you in the end, doesn't hurt anybody else. That's inner turmoil is the most worst pain. And yeah, so employing this knowledge and wisdom, and allowing myself to see things like this and understand this, these situations and these people and these events from my past, from this perspective, and current, this has been the way that I've been able to start over, go through, and continuously practice forgiveness in all my life, in all areas of my life. Which hasn't necessarily set me free per se, but it sure as hell has contributed to a lot of stuff I've been able to free up within my heart and within my soul, and to love myself and to love my life and love others, and to view things from a perspective that comes from the pure love and joy that we all possess, no matter who you are, and the compassion. And so I have to often remind myself of this, because there are times when, people piss me off and push my buttons, such as a little bit earlier today during a Facebook thread. There's just a few people that are, maybe I shouldn't go into detail, but there's people who challenge me who I've been seeing over a year now, thinking the same way. And, at the end of the day, that's on them. I can only be me and put out the information that I'm putting out, and put it out with love and compassion, in hopes that it may affect them, but it's their choice. So I'm proposing a challenge since we're doing this 30-day challenge. I'm challenging you to, after hearing my perception or perspective of forgiveness, to take a look at your own life and see where you need to forgive. And really, truly take a look. Dig deep. Don't be scared. And if you are scared, do it anyway. And make space for more love and light. Make space for that beautiful conscious state of being, state of human consciousness that you operate in. And you guys are all worth it. I'm worth it. You're worth it. There's no really difference between me and you, or you and I should say in proper vocabulary, but we're worth it. We deserve to be living lives that are joyful, fulfilling, purposeful, loving, and everything good. So, one last thing I just wanted to say is, because I tend to do this a lot, is don't be too hard on yourself, okay? And I know from experience that's better said than, or easier said than done. But no one is perfect. Perfection is an illusion. So remember to give yourself a break. And when you find yourself like talking bad about yourself or even thinking, which is horrible, thinking bad about yourself, but it does happen, redirect your thoughts, redirect your words, and redirect them. And remember just the infinite conscious beings that you really truly are, the beautiful, amazing souls that we all are. Excuse me. And one of my favorite sayings is from Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he says, "Nothing in my world ever goes wrong." So I'm just challenging you to choose to react to the lessons in your life that you're being presented with a higher state of forgiveness and compassion, and watch what happens. Seriously, watch what happens. I'm not joking. So until day 18, everyone, I wish you all the brightest love and light and abundant health and prosperous fortune to you and yours always. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart for tuning in and even just following what Wade and I are doing. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that you at least get one golden nugget of wisdom out of what I just shared today about forgiveness. I love you all, and I hope you remember to keep loving your life and living it up, because I know I sure will be. Have a productive and prosperous week. And until video 18, which will be tomorrow, which is going to be today for you guys. I know it's confusing. Many blessings. Mwah. Take care.